Hi there, my beautiful people. This is Dr. Rosaline Sebolao once again coming to you from Home of Inspiration. This is the platform where we share the wisdom that we've gained throughout our lifetime. And in our company, I always say I deal with professional development and life coaching. And today it's such an amazing experience and the time that I'm going to share with you. I had interactions with many people in my life while I served in many, encounters. And today I have a special guest with me. You know, I always have special guests. I have a special guest with me that I interacted with while I was serving in the public service. And her name is Ms Makarabo Bridget Moshoeshoe. I think those who know or who are Sotho speaking would know that the name means royalty. They know, people who are Bomoshweshwe, you know where they come from. So today I'm going to be sharing this special time with you with Ms Bridget, Ms Makarabo Moshoeshoe. And I'm sure we are going to really enjoy. Ms Makarabo, thank you so much for allowing me to encroach your space and just come and, I know you're very an interpersonal person, but I made sure that you come out and come and talk to my people. And what you shared with me, just that I can share with my viewers, is that this is the very first time that somebody decided to record you. And I'm happy that I'm making that history. Welcome to Home of Inspiration, where we share the wisdom from this book, Wisdom from the School of Life. And I know I've gained so much wisdom by interacting with you in my life. Can you just firstly interact with my viewers and introduce yourself? Who is Ms Makarabo Bridget?
Thank you very much for the beautiful introduction. My doctor, who happens to be my friend.
Yes.
I'm so lucky. Ms Makarabo Moshoeshoe is a Sotho-speaking woman who grew up in Lesotho.
Oh, wow.
I got married to a very handsome dude from
My
Soweto,
goodness.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But now, unfortunately, we parted ways at some point, and I told myself that I wasn't going back to Lesotho. So I settled in the Free State.
Great. Lucky for us. Yes.
Which I have found really very inspiring. So that's who Ms Makarabo is. Upon coming here, I got to work with the Department of Tourism for 9 years.
Wow.
It was a beautiful experience because it taught me so many things that has made me who I am today.
Wow, great. And now that she has indicated that she worked in the Department of Tourism, this is where I met with you.
That's right.
When I was serving in the Public Service Commission, because we were monitoring the government departments. And since then, just knowing each other, it has really, expanded my horizon about life, and I've learned so much. And because she does not talk a lot, but just being, this is what is important about life. Wisdom does not have to come by people saying things, but just being who God wanted you to be, and that's what I have really learned from you. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit about your family, your two, lovely children that I happen to love so much just knowing them.
Sure, God was so good to me. I normally call them doves, and they call themselves twins because they're not so very far apart. But one was born in 83 and the other one in 84. No questions.
No, I'm not going to ask any question, lest I be told lies.
But that was so beautiful.
Oh.
It was so beautiful because we parted ways with that Wabona in 1984. I was already expecting. So you see, God works in miraculous ways because He made sure that I've got two beautiful children from that dude which I had loved so much. So I was really blessed that way, and I thank that so very much. So these two people, they are here in Bloemfontein with me.
Okay.
The other one is married to the firstborn, which is Dimpo,
Yes.
is married to the Milamu family.
Oh,
She herself has
beautiful.
overpopulated South Africa with 3 children. We are used to having two. So yeah, these are my beautiful grandsons and daughters. And the other one is Makarabo Moshoeshoe. He is also right here in Bloemfontein. He's an architect. And he is, God has been so good to both of them and to me, because we are just a close-knit family, which really does love each other and support each other through thick and thin.
Yes.
So I really find this so, so good of God to have kept us together all this time.
Having faith in Him, that's what is important, and that's what kept you.
Absolutely.
And in this book, I talk about the power of words in the very first chapter. And I'm listening the way you are describing your children as, this beautiful ones, the lovely dude who was your husband. You're not saying that, whatever that people always call their ex-husband, but because you just still appreciate him in spite of what happened in that marriage. So it says to me, from every experience, whether good or bad, you learn something from that. And that takes me to the scripture that I love. It says, all things work together for good of those who love God
and have been called
according to His purpose. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I see that, and I see how you have grown, developed your children, and that now they are professionals. They've literally blessed. They are blessing to our province. They are blessing to South Africa. Had you not really used those words and called them doves, they would not have flown. They are flying high as we look at them. So I just want to say God has really, been good to you, and you have actually, praised Him so much. That's why He continues to be a blessing to you. Now, Ms Makarabo, enough about our children, it's not about you, Makarabo. But we cannot just not talk about them. They are our friends. They are the gifts that God gave us. So it's important. Now, I always say I interact with many people, and in my interactions, I never want to leave the interaction without having left something in that person, and at the same time I benefit, without really saying I'm going to interact with Ms Moshoeshoe because I want something, but I always want to say, what am I going to leave in her life?
Absolutely.
And I've seen you doing that. Maybe you can share with me, what is your purpose in life? What have you found to be your purpose in life as you interact with many people?
Sure, Dr. Rosaline. My passion, let me say my passion is to help. I find myself so happy whenever I've helped anybody and anyone. I was telling a neighbor of mine, she was saying to me, Bridget, you're such a good person, and I said, my friend, when I do anything, just remember that I do it for myself. I do it so that I am happy, and I have never found anything that makes me happier than when I have made somebody happy. I live for that, especially now that I have grown so old. By the grace of God, I find myself emptying myself to other people's needs. What shall I do to mine? I have raised my children. They are now men and women in their own right, and I find myself with so much time that I can do so much good for so many other people, just other than my own family. So that makes me so happy.
You remind me of the other time we were driving, and you, in a courteous way, you just let somebody, get in the way because they're asking, can you please open the way for me? And then that person didn't say even thank you. And I'm like, our people says, man, when I do something good, it's not about that person. It's about me. I feel happy. And I remember now you say this, you remind me of it. it has been your way of being. It was not because you are doing it because you are expecting anything. And this is what the Word of God teaches us. You need to serve without expectation. And when you do that, you realize that God just adds more. As a matter of fact, Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. All other things will be added."
Absolutely.
You do that because you understand that you're serving God when you do that. Wow, I am so inspired. It's like I'm hearing you for the first time.
Can you just imagine how unhappy we would be if when we do good, we expect good from the people that we help?
So
because it's very seldom
True.
that
True.
you get anything back. You help the
Yes.
people today, tomorrow you see this person doing something you never had expected.
Yes.
Now, it happens so many times. It happens so many times that if you were expecting something, you'd be an unhappy person throughout your whole life.
No, that is so true, and it's important because if you can know why you are on earth, you are here, you are blessed to be a blessing. Absolutely. And that's the only reason why we'll enjoy our lives. Otherwise, we'll forever be unhappy. And here comes another part that I always encourage, even I encourage even students at the university. I say there's something that is called self-acknowledgement. If you can learn to acknowledge yourself and not wait for somebody, you see what you've just said now, to say, no, I'm not doing it because I want you. I'm doing it because I want to feel happy. And when you leave there, say, "Yo, Makarabo, you've done so well. Thank you, Makarabo, for helping that person." And then you feel so good.
It becomes a bonus.
Exactly, it does become a bonus. And that way you realize that your life gets better and better every day. Can you imagine how, if we could do that, the world would be such a lovely place.
Such a lovely place.
Yes. And throughout that, it's a matter of becoming sensitive to the needs of other people. As you say, you do things because you are not expecting, but you're doing because you realize that that person has got a need. And who is seeing the need? You are seeing it. Be sensitive and meet the need.
Absolutely.
If you are not able to, ask somebody to help you. That's why life is really filled with many different people. And I know that you might not remember this. Some years back.
There are so many things that you remember.
No, I remember. When you have left a mark. This is what I talk about in the last chapter of this book, the memoir that you are living, the memories that you live. So you have literally left so many memories in my life, and we're still alive. And I prefer to share these memories so that people can learn something from this Ms Makarabo. She's not only beautiful outside, she's beautiful inside. Now, many years ago, there was a company that honored people who are upholding ethics in their lives. And it was just a surprise that I found myself with you being honored. The company was saying people who are unashamedly ethical. I still have the certificate and a small trophy that is written, "Be the salt, be the light." And this is just what tells you that we come a long way with Ms Bridget. And can you just remember just 2 moments maybe where you say, God has helped me to become the salt and to become the light? I'm forcing you to remember certain things. You can realize that she's no longer young, so there are certain things that you might not remember.
Old age has actually...
But there's a lot of wisdom in that. Yeah, even if it's just one, it might teach somebody something. Yeah.
It's amazing because we, more often than not, we listen to phrases being said, we listen to the word of God being, explained to us and all of that. You don't really think deep about it until you find yourself having to practice it. Yeah. Now, a few days back, we were giving candles at church. People were supposed to pray with this candle and bring it back.
Okay.
And when it came to me, I said, this is amazing.
Wow.
This is amazing. It's the light. It's a candle, you know. But it seems to be different from any other candle because to me it says.
How you look at it.
Absolutely. So I said, Lord Jesus, you've been the light of the world. I am happy that you came into my house today. Please help me to understand you better so that I can be able to see all of the graces that you have given to me and the gifts, you know, of the Holy Spirit that you have given to me.
Wow.
And please look after everybody. I mean, this candle, it should actually inspire everybody, even those who are not here, so that we all can actually understand how God has been to us and love Him the way we loved. I mean, He loved us.
Yes.
So yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
and you're indeed the light because now I'm taking you to your previous businesses that you had. I'm just thinking that you have been the light, and I don't want to talk about our lives when we were in the public service, but in our businesses, because we are indeed the light. Whatever you do, we're not doing it because we want money only, but we want to leave that, you know, change in the lives.
absolutely.
And you had a cleaning service, if you remember. I don't know, how can you not remember about your business? But you had the cleaning service, and I always looked at how you treated your people that worked under you in your company. And just to realize that, because sometimes we would have to pay people even if you don't have money.
Absolutely.
So that says to me, you understood that I am the light, because if these people do not have money, what are they going to eat throughout the month? So that's the life I'm taking you back to.
Thank you for taking me back to that one, because there's something very inspirational, if I may say so myself, that I would like to share with people. When you get a job, you know, cleaning services, like you were saying, it's very true that you would like to work and get some money out of it, but at the same time, you'd like to be able to uplift other people's lives. When I first came in, I was told that I have to take everybody who was there, whom I found there. I had no problem with that because I just couldn't find myself, you know, living some out, healthy work and what, you know, that kind of thing. So as we were doing this work, I had told myself that nobody will do against me because I'm going to make sure, I mean, in the little ways that I could, I would make sure that they are happy. And to me, they were not just workers. They became my friends, although they always saw me as my boss, and we would fight a lot because whenever I'm not there, they would just sit under the shades. And when I come, they would see the car, she's coming. And then they would start, you know, to work. And then I would say, okay, fine. Because they have, I wouldn't say, you haven't worked, you're sitting, you're doing this, but I would say, okay, we will cover this area. And they would say, but it's already late, but we are still going to do it. You know, I wouldn't say we are going to do it because you are sitting down. And I would say, but guys, we have to do this because tomorrow is another day and another area that we have to cover. So I would work with them, and they would be so angry. Because now they'll be working overtime
that they created themselves.
So it was good. It was good to realize that my experiences with my bosses and everyone else, I have come to a place where I could not just back at the person if she hasn't done anything right, but I would find a way to actually talk to this person and make sure that she or he does what I want without really
fighting.
I'll be telling them, oh guys, on Friday we are going to cook the horolo, you know, we are going to cook the horolo, and Papa, I'll bring Papa and we will cook and all of that. Now we'll be working, not very happy, but at least the thought of having that nice atmosphere on Friday would ease their, anger a little bit. So
I think what I'm learning from this story, you see, I wasn't really remembering this way of yours, but what I love from this is that leadership is very important.
And difficult too.
And difficult.
Because we are not perfect.
Exactly.
You will still be very fed up with what they are doing, but because you need them, you have to master. You have to master you.
But also what I wanted to say is that as people who are employees, because remember when people who are listening here might be leaders and others not, but all of us are leaders in our own right. So when you are employed, it's important that you don't have to wait for people to be the boss to push you behind. I always say it's important for you to know that you are a leader before you get a position of being a leader. So and that way our work environment becomes actually very interesting. So this is the wisdom. It's nothing. It does not need you to have a degree or what, but it is the wisdom that you see whenever we see people who are leaders. It's important that we say, I think I'm learning something from that person. How about if I actually, cover myself from the things that I've not been doing well and try to also learn and do these things better? Because the reason why in every organization there are challenges, it is mainly because of leadership issues. If every person can know that you are a leader before you can actually be in a position, and you do not need that other person to push you from behind, you know your job description. Why don't you do it without mere director or mere assistant director come and tell you? So, and it fills me when I'm followed up. It also makes me feel like this person does not trust me because I know the leadership in me, even before I could become whatever, in whatever position. So thank you very much for that wisdom because I really like. Now that brings me, I speak about skills in here. While I talk about sensitivity, but I talk about skills. And there's this rare skill that we need as people that you had, and that helps you through, whether you went through challenges, but that financial skill, that financial management skill that everybody needs, whether you don't have a business or whether you have a business, it's a financial literacy is a skill that you all need. I know you're very passionate about that. Ms Makarabo was the CFO in the department. Acting CFO. But the fact that you were made to act for that time, it means they saw that skill in you. It is a very rare skill. The reason why companies fall, the reason why departments, even big departments, fail is mainly because of that skill. Not mainly, because I spoke about leadership, but that one as well. So can you just share about your passion, financial literacy?
Sure, man. Actually, my passion was missing. I became an accountant
by default.
Yes. Okay. Just because I had good marks, and I went to this tertiary school, university. Yeah. I didn't want to say university. I went there. And I told myself that
this is a surprise for
me. I had to choose between going to a nursing school and going to a university. Now I find a university a little bit, and I really think I missed my calling there. However, I got to love accounting so much, especially because I realized that everybody, from whatever sphere of life, we need to be able to manage our finances. There is nobody, not even everybody, let me say everybody has at least 5 cents in their pocket, and that 5 cents they have to manage so well that it will take them through, Wow. So I am very passionate about accounting. But I will tell you, I had never been passionate about accounting much more than I am now. The reason being, when I was an accountant in the government department, you know, I thought I knew it all. I never thought that I would need a mentor insofar as
managing
my finances, because I can assure you I was good at managing other people's finances.
Sure.
But when it came to mine, I really did need somebody who can say, no, you are not doing this one, you are not doing that, because I just spent.
Sure.
You know?
Yes.
And as a result, I fell into a trap which most people fall into, of not saving enough.
Yes.
And if I could just, you know, I really don't think I would be able to emphasize that enough to say, please, whatever you do, make sure that you save at least 10% of what you earn now whilst you can.
Sure.
Because there'll be a time when you won't
Rainy
have
days.
Exactly. So it is very important that we save whatever we have right now. It doesn't matter if you get 50 rand, save 5 rand of that. It's imperative. Sure. It doesn't matter how many other things that you need, but it's still very important. Now, I'm coming to the reason why I'm passionate now. The very fact that I didn't manage my own finances as well as I should have, it makes me want to tell people that here I am, I made some mistakes. Please, you can't make the same mistakes as I did. It's unfortunate that when you say that to people, they, especially government employees, they think that you want to chow their money with them, to share their, you know, hard-earned money with them. In the meantime, there's no way I could work for nothing. You know, I still have to earn something.
Work for something.
Yes. It doesn't matter whether you are doing your passion or not. You still have to have food on the table. So it's sad, really, because we need to be advised, we need mentors, we need people who can actually tell us.
I think I'm taking you today as my financial mentor. I'm making it public. So if you need a financial mentor, here's a person. And you know, I always say mentors are people who have walked the road so that you don't have to go that road if it's a wrong one, so that you don't go and make the same mistake.
Absolutely.
And we share these things, and I always say, when I say to people, please do not do this, I'm not saying it because I'm judging you, but I know I've been there. The consequences have not been, you know, pleasant. So it's really great to hear, because this is one of the important skills that I talk about. And I actually talk about it in different spheres, whether it's in a personal, you know, perspective or from a work perspective. So thank you very much for that, Ms. Bridget. And now I want to come to this point, which we may conclude depending on how far you take us with. I was saying this is the month that is dedicated to the elderly. I know that it's also a month for mental health, mental well-being, but I would like us to talk about the elderly. I'm one person who was passionate about the old people, because I believe that, and I've seen my parents in their old age, although they did not grow to go beyond 70, but I always realized that once you grow older, people no longer take care. They no longer are interested in you. And I think in my wisdom philosophy, because I call it my philosophy, I told myself that I will always take care. It doesn't matter how, whether it's financial or just being there for the old people. So this is the month that we are saying we love our old people. What can we contribute? What can we do just to love them and take care of them?
Sure, there's so much. Older people, when they grow old, they become like children.
Yes.
Some of them become so carefree. They don't care. They just speak from their hearts. They don't care whether you
get angry
or not. They just say whatever is in their minds, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think ours is to love them. I am old myself, but there are older people whom I look up to, and I can see their needs, and I have made it my, I want to make, I want to make it my responsibility, especially now that I stay with them. I stay with those old people, and I think there's no shame in telling that I'm living in an old age home, which I think God deliberately. I think He deliberately put me there.
No, definitely.
I'm sure He did.
And I'm actually excited because now I can be able to fulfill my passion with you because I can always pretend as if I'm visiting you. Meanwhile,
no, my friend, we are going to do great things for that place.
I'm so excited.
There are so many of them that are so old. Some are tired, some are sick, and just this yesterday, I went into one that is house. I mean, unit.
Yes.
And I got in there, it was a sad story.
Yes.
It was a sad story. It needed some cleaning. I'm sure he needs food as well. And I had I was giving him a mere 100 rand. I'm not proud of giving him 100 rand when I really should be giving him something much better than that. And I was saying to myself, I may not be able to clean for this latte, and he is not the only one here. But I'm sure God is going to put me in a place where I'll be able to get people who are able and willing to clean this hut, and not only his. And I said to myself, my friend Dr. Rosaline Sebolao is going to help me with this.
I'm definitely going to. So remember, you have an experience with the cleaning service.
Yes.
So it's important. I mean, we might be committing ourselves here, but this is what we need to do. We have people who do not have jobs.
You said something about the power of speaking.
Yes.
And this is what
we are creating this with our ways. That we are going to get people, whether it's 2 or 3, who will clean for those people who are not able to clean for themselves. It is important because if our people are living in such environments, how can they be healthy? So we, me being from the health background, you becoming, coming from your background, it's important. And we have many other friends who can actually help us do this.
Absolutely.
So friends, I'm so excited. This talk is coming out with such a beautiful project that will take us far, because it's very important if we love these old people. I mean, both my parents passed on, my grannies and everyone else. I'm only left with one, my mother's sister. My father's sister, the firstborn, lived up to 100. In 2020, she turned 100, and she died when she met me. And I always say I'm doing this to everyone else, not because I don't have one, but I know the value of older people. They loved me, they supported me in many things. So I will make sure. Now it's not only me. So South Africa, can you imagine if all of us can identify one small problem and say, how can we help? We will be doing what I call the memoir. We will be living memories, good memories in many people's lives. Because some people are not taking care of their grannies, not because they don't want to, but it's because they can't, either financially, or maybe they do not have spaces, or they're working, they don't have the time. But we have some kind of resources. And God, I can assure you, He's going to give us more resources that we are going to be able to do more, because we are speaking it into being. Whatever you say with your mouth, God has already heard it in heaven. Where 2 or 3 agree on something on earth, God has agreed with us in heaven, and it's going to happen. I'm so excited that on this month, we are declaring this, that we're going to do something. We're not just going to visit them, because all they need is just be there, pray with them, and sing with them, sometimes playing with them. I like, knitting. Do that with them. It is so important. Ms Bridget, I'm so excited. You have literally, sown a seed in my heart that we can do together. And I can assure you, many of our friends will help us do this. Now, friends, I don't know if you would love to, before I say that, remember, if you have not ordered this book, wisdom is about what we've just been sharing. It's not the degrees, it's not the qualifications, but just let's read this. Order the book. My email address is rasaboya3@gmail.com. Or you can actually, leave a comment on this YouTube video. Remember also to subscribe, to like, and share this video with many people that you think might benefit from the wisdom that we're sharing here. But before we finish, I just want to say, Ms Makarabo, that cup, whenever you drink from Home of Inspiration, please continue to share the wisdom from this cup, your cup.
I sit
And say to God, fill my cup, Lord, so that the world can be filled with wisdom. Any last words from you, my special guest? You remind me of so many of my special guests, but you are special today.
My last words would be, everybody has a purpose on earth. Nobody comes here with nothing. And when you come to this space, you have to make sure that when you leave, you have emptied whatever it is that God has designed you to do here. Now, I am so excited myself that I was excited. I was thinking about this, but you are the one who actually brought it out. Because I wasn't talking about this to anybody. And most of the things that I've just shared with you now are things that which I thought about after I talked to you. And I really
I thank God for the Holy Spirit. He does things happen. He just makes things happen.
You have always inspired me. Always. There was a time when we were apart for quite a lengthy time. But I was always thinking about you, and evidently you were also thinking about me. And I'm an old person. She is much younger than me. But I've always loved her and many others. I'm not just buying her things.
I know we love each other, definitely.
So I think we have found our purpose. And we are talking about old people now, but I want to believe that God is going to give us so much time that it will not only old people that we will be able to help or go into.
He's doing it right now.
Yes, so there's children, there's the disabled, there's all of these people need some sort of an assistance.
Yes.
Now, what I love about this is that you and I are going to have a lot of time.
Yes.
So we are going to even inspire other people. I mean, we are not doing this so that we can put there to say they have done good, they have done this. We are doing this to glorify God, and I'm certain that there are many other people whom we are going to co-opt, to come with us and be able to do all of these. We are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy, and thank you so much for being with us. Definitely, there's a lot that we're going to do. We're going to have time, we're going to have resources. Resources is, of course, us and the time and the people that will come and be with us.
Absolutely.
Friends, thank you very much for tuning in. It has really been such a blessing. This October will never be the same again. Any October that comes after this one will never be the same. That our old people will be loved. Our people with mental issues will be taken care of, because there are many needs in our country, and we can even see ourselves spreading out there into the entire world. Have a lovely day. We love you. We acknowledge, we appreciate you for supporting Home of Inspiration.
Thank you.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.